everyone, this is episode 5 of Better Than Eddie. My name's FM20 and welcome along. So you were last with me on Boxing Day when we played out a 2-2 draw with Norwich, and things had been a little bit ropey up to that point. We were dropping down the table and you know, not performing particularly well. January, on the other hand, has been a great month for us. In fact, so much so, we came second in the Manager of the Month, only Pep Guardiola pipping us to that accolade. So that's not bad at all, really. You'll see we're sitting in 5th place in the table, just a little bit off the top 4. I'm not sure we're strong enough to really break into that group this season, but of course the main aim was to see whether we could stay up in the Premier League, and we're currently 22 points above the drop zone with 14 games to play, I think. So yeah, I think we've achieved that pretty much already. We're on 43 points. I can't see us being relegated even if we lose every single game between now and then. So yeah, that's kind of pretty much mission accomplished so far. You'll see in the goal scoring charts, Callum Wilson is now second behind Harry Kane. Unfortunately, he missed 2 penalties in the recent games, and we've had to take him off and replace him with Harry Wilson as the regular penalty taker. But yeah, if he'd managed to convert them, he'd still be top of the goal scoring chart, so that's a shame. But anyway, let's go and have a quick look at the schedule, and you can see how we've achieved what we have in January. So you can see here, all those draws we were getting before, we're now turning it into wins. The first game after the Norwich game was Sheffield United away, coming only a couple of days afterwards, so we rotated the squad a little bit to get a few fresh legs in, and we won it very comfortably. We were 2 up after about half an hour, and never ever looked in any danger of letting that lead slip. Next game we went to Wolves. That was a 0-0 draw, and that was one of the games where Wilson missed a penalty. In fact, it was in the 2nd minute of the game, I think, and it just ruined him for the whole game. So yeah, we had to take him off after about an hour, and he was put in a 6.1, so that's a bit of a shocker. But you know, a decent away point. We went to Wigan in the FA Cup, rotated the squad pretty heavily there, and came away with a very streaky 1-0 win. Lerma got himself sent off near the end, which is a bit silly, unnecessary, and of course it meant he was banned for the next game, which was Southampton at home. Again, not our best performance, but yeah, 1-0 win. Happy enough with that. Unfortunately, that was another game where Callum Wilson had missed a penalty, and that was when I made the decision to take him off that duty and put Harry Wilson on. We played Spurs next and beat them 1-0. Callum Wilson scored in that game, but still didn't fill me enough confidence to put him back on penalties, and I'm glad I didn't, because we played the return game against Norwich up at their place. We won 2-0. Harry Wilson got both of them, and one of them was a penalty, which he tucked away very, very nicely. The last game we played was away to Blackburn in the Cup. Blackburn is sort of mid-table championship side. Rotated the team again, and unfortunately rotated it probably a little bit too much, and we came away with a defeat. It wasn't a great performance, but as the main focus of this save is to try and make sure we do as well in the league as we can, I'm not too concerned about not being in the FA Cup for the rest of the season. So yeah, so we're on to the Crystal Palace game now. That's the next fixture, which is today. Let's go and see how the team is set up for that game. So the first thing that you might notice here is we have actually made one addition to the squad over the transfer window. Unfortunately, Jefferson Lerma picked up a back injury that's going to keep him out for a couple of months, so I just felt we needed a bit more cover or strength in that deep-lying holding midfield role. So we went out into the loan market rather than buying a player, and we brought in a guy called Bruno Zuccolini, who we've got on loan from River Plate in Argentina, who I think is going to be a pretty solid addition in that role. In terms of the team generally, you'll remember that Mepham and Stacey had been making some noises about not getting enough playing time, so we'd given them an opportunity in the team, and both of them have really grabbed it with both hands. Mepham is now keeping Steve Cook out of the side, and Stacey is pretty much regular first choice right back, although Adam Smith has been injured, so he's really had a good opportunity to make that his own. So going into today's game, this is going to be the lineup. In goal we have Ramsdale. Left back we're playing Lloyd Kelly today, another one of those players who wants a bit more playing time. Pretty good, so we'll give him a chance. Right back Jack Stacey. centre halves Ake and Mepham. Zuccolini's going to make his debut in the holding midfield role. Lewis Cook and Gutierrez in central midfield. Ryan Fraser and Harry Wilson in the wide areas, and Callum Wilson up top. So let's get into today's game and see if we can put one over on Crystal Palace. So here we are for today's game in our traditional little huddle, getting ready for the kick-off. Now, I mentioned about Zuccolini coming in on loan. In terms of outgoings, we really didn't have any. A couple of youngsters that we sent out on loan, but we didn't have a great deal of interest in any of our star players that we had to try and fend off. Josh King had an offer to go on loan to Saint Etienne, but we turned that down. There didn't really seem to be a lot of benefit. I mean, if it had been a permanent transfer, maybe. But being a loan... Oh, hang on, we've scored. Excellent. No, ruled out for offside. Anyway, yeah, as I was saying, being a loan, there wasn't a great deal of benefit to it apart from taking some of his wages off the books, which isn't really an issue for us. Had it been a permanent transfer and we could have used those funds to get someone else in, then yeah, maybe we'd have thought about it. But a loan deal wasn't really good for anyone, so we'll just keep him as part of the squad for now. We've made a fairly encouraging start to this game. All the highlights are for us. Let's see what Kelly can do. A good ball into Ryan Fraser there. Great chip to the back post, and Harry Wilson tucks it away. That's his 7th of the season. A really impressive goal scoring return from Harry Wilson this season. And unlike in real life, it's not all just free kicks. He's scoring a lot of goals by getting into that kind of position, nipping in front of defenders and just tucking in simple goals. So yeah, his positional play has been really, really good. And we're 1 up after 15 odd minutes now. Looking fairly secure. Here's Wilson with a floated ball into the middle. It's cleared, and a Palace counter attack here by the looks of it. Ayu's got a lot of pace. Kelly's gone out to meet him. Don't foul him. And we can clear that. Gets it up to Callum Wilson, and it's our turn to counter here. Wilson, is he going to go by himself? Gets tackled, but Harry Wilson picks up the loose ball. And this is real end-to-end stuff, isn't it? Ayu again coming. Zaha, he's obviously the danger man. But that's a fairly wild slash at the ball and goes wide. I think we're going to ask him to get a bit more creative. We're doing okay, but we're not really making a lot of chances. To be honest though, coming up to half-time, 1-0, that's good. One of the features of our play recently has actually been a very, very solid defence. Up until the Blackburn FA Cup game, we'd actually gone 5 games in the league without conceding a goal. So in terms of the stats, you normally discount the cup games. So this is now, 5.5 games, I think, since we last conceded a goal in the league, which is obviously a huge contributing factor to why we're doing so well at the moment. So let's get the boys out for the second half with a minimum of fuss. We'll be a little bit careful. We noticed Mepham and Ake both on yellow cards, so maybe we'll look to make a change there as the half progresses. But we're starting again with another highlight for us. Lloyd Kelly getting forward well, and Wilson again is there to mop up. It wasn't the best shot in the world from Kelly, but it brought a save out from their keeper who couldn't push it round the post, and he's just dollied it up. You'll see here, Kelly, not the strongest shot, but the keeper has done poorly there, and Wilson is in to snap up the rebound. And that's his 8th of the season and 2nd of the game. Great performance. And hopefully we can see this out fairly comfortably now. I'm going to tell them we think we're doing well. Make a change or two here, I think. So let's have a look who's not playing the best. Cook's not having the greatest game ever. So I think we'll bring Gosling on and give him a few minutes. And up front, Wilson once again not having his best game. Let's see if Solanke can do a little bit better. So just 20 minutes to go now. 2-0 up. Crystal Palace really offering no threat whatsoever at this point, so I'm happy just to sort of see the game out really. I think I will make one little change at the back though. I really don't want 2 players on yellow cards at the back, so let's bring Steve Cook on, give him a few minutes at the end of the game as we just see it out very comfortably. Into injury time now. Yep. Oh no, one last little highlight for Palace. Even if they score now, I can't see there's going to be enough time. No, they miss anyway. And that's the end of the game. It finishes 2-0 to Bournemouth. Another great result. So you can see we've had a news report here showing that we are now 12 games unbeaten. Now obviously you'll remember a lot of those right at the start of the run were just draws. But since then, obviously we started putting that run of wins together, and you can see the last 6 games, only one draw in there, but they're all clean sheets, which is phenomenal. Really, really pleased with that. So if we get to look at the league table, you'll see that we've managed to consolidate our 5th place position in the league. In fact, we've managed to open up a little bit more of a gap between us and Tottenham and Chelsea in the places below. So that's really, really positive, particularly as we've got a fairly tricky little run of games coming up. So let's go and have a little look in the schedule, and we can see that little run of games and see where we're going to come back for. Well, as you can see, the rest of this month is going to be pretty tricky for us, I think. Got Manchester City away, Arsenal away, and Liverpool at home. So I'm fairly sure our unbeaten record is going to end. Obviously our clean sheet record is likely to end too. Yeah, but hopefully, you know, we're doing well enough that we can still be there or thereabouts for the European places after that little run of games. I think where I'm going to bring you back is the Burnley game at home at the end of March. I think it seems like a fairly good place to come back. We'll have been through that tough run of games, had a couple more games after that, so it'll give a fairly good indication of where we're likely to finish up, I think. Before we go today, I just wanted to bring you through to the Club Vision screen to see how the board are happy with us or not. And as you can see, they're very, very happy. We're currently with an A+, which is great. You know, can't get any better than that. Fortunately, it's not an A-level result, otherwise I'm sure the UK government would have downgraded me to a C or a D. So I hope you enjoyed watching this episode. It was another really good performance from Bournemouth. We're obviously exceeding the expectations I had at the start of the series, so yeah, really, really happy with that. If you have enjoyed it, please consider dropping a like on the video. Anything you guys can do to help boost me up the algorithm a little bit is always very welcome. Any comments you have, any feedback, any hints or tips, please leave them in the comments section. Love to read them too. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. The more subscribers I have on the channel, the better, obviously. But finally, thanks for watching the episode. I hope to see you all again very soon for the Burnley game. Bye for now.